University Athletic Department. We're here on the main floor of the Waco Center today for another segment of the Coaches Show, and our guest for this afternoon is head volleyball coach Keven John. Coach, good to see you this afternoon.
Great to be here as usual.
Another very eventful week. A couple big matches. Played a couple travel partners from the Northern Division. Started with Frostburg, and that would end up being a 5-set match. Very exciting. Went down 2-1, came back a tight 4th set, was able to pull that out, and then came back and won the 5th. So about that exciting match here last week.
It's always fun to be at home and to play such a close match in front of a crowd. A lot of people were into it. The benches were into it. We were going at each other. First win in program history against them, and it was just a lot of fun. We got a lot of people on the court looking for the right combination against Frostburg. And as you said, we fell down a little bit early, and I think some of the bench came in and did a great job and picked us up. And then, of course, we just got a little more even keeled throughout and played. We waited for our points. We had a couple unlucky points here and there, and then we just waited for it to happen for us, and then we took control towards the end. It's great.
And being able to later in the match finish more at the net, where a couple of them have gotten away from you, a couple of the real close matches, y'all were able to finish, they're coming down the stretch.
Yeah, I think we realized. I mean, we realized a couple of the advantages we had throughout the match, and we started exploiting those in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th sets, even though we dropped that. The 4th especially, like Nelena Funk really came through, and we realized that they didn't have a block that could probably deal with her length and her height, and we started feeding her the ball a bunch, and then that of course opened up a lot more for us too. And so that was one of the key turnarounds in that match that helped us to get to where we wanted to be. But again, it was a lot of folks coming off the bench. Sophie came off the bench and played some great right side defense. We had a huge at the end of the 5th set, we brought in Bree Cold and had her serve a couple of aces, or one ace, and then a really tough ball that got them out of system at the end. That kind of pushed us over the line there. Obviously, we had one more point after that, but she separated us from there at the end.
Points, yeah.
Yeah, and there was I could tell a lot of stories like that. It was a great night for sure.
Well, and then it would parlay that into going up against Fairmont. It's having a phenomenal year already. Went past 20 wins, and first set didn't go as planned, but you all battled them tight through 2 and 3. Even though we didn't come out of there with the win, those 2nd and 3rd sets, you were certainly very competitive with them.
We came up there a little sick. Give them all the credit in the world, but I don't think that we were at full strength on the other side of the net from them. And it took us a second to settle in and realize the level that was across from us. They were having a great night. Fairmont did a really good job. They were solid, consistent. They were hitting the ball a ton. They were moving the ball. They were hard to predict what they were going to run at us. We were having a hard time getting them out of system, which is one of our MOs that we usually can attack from the service line. We didn't have our best night there either. Yeah. And but like you said, we don't give up. Our team really does work hard. And afterwards, we actually talked about that in the locker room, about how we can go forward from that and what we can learn from the match. And I was pleased with our overall effort. I was pleased with how we hung, especially with some lineups we hadn't really seen before because of some of the illness and some of the other things going on. So yeah, I agree. I thought we hung with them at the end, and I think that showed up the next day at Wheeling.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, you had said that they were very polished, right? You said it was hard. What you normally do, it was hard to shake them, and
yep.
And as it went, absolutely. Well, I tell you what, where we're at right now, 14-11, in a playoff spot right now. We were just talking about it before the broadcast about being able to get some more wins in the hip pocket and secure a playoff bid. 4 consecutive matches at home now. 3 this week, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. Big picture, how important this stretch is in that playoff run.
Well, like we said before, we're at 3, 6 generally is a pretty good indication you're going to get in. With sans a few odd things that you don't expect to happen. 7 is pretty much a lock. So this homecoming stand is huge. It's really big. We expect that we're going to come out and push hard for this spot in the tournament. The girls are focused. They absolutely want it. They understand what's at stake. I really believe that we're going to have a great week. I don't expect anything less. I mean, we got to, while you play them, got to see what the results are going to be. But I think we're going to give everybody everything we have, and I think we have every expectation that we'll get where we need to be and end up in the tournament.
Yeah, but big week going down. I know West Virginia State NCAA team was at the end of this four-game stretch, but the first match is that return match here with D&E, and I know that's one that we certainly talked about. Could have went either way over at their place. How important is that? Just I know it's the next match and how you look at it, but this one's pretty important.
Oh, incredibly important. This is if we can get this one, suddenly seeding starts coming into play, and our chances of going further into the tournament. So now we're not just trying to make the tournament. Now we're getting a better chance of going deep into the tournament. And again, you got to be in it to win it. The better the seed, the better place we end up. The better our chance of getting through, and that's always our goal. Our goal is to get in, but once we're in, the goal is to get to the end of that thing. That's what we're always trying to do. So this is the team that's ahead of us right now in the seedings. They're in 3, we're in 4, and this means a lot. It absolutely means a lot. Even if it winds up meaning nothing in the seeding this year, it means a lot for the growth of our program. It means a lot for us going forward years and years into the future, not just now.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a controversial first match over there. So it's a long-awaited rematch. And I know your buddy, Coach Willis.
Oh yeah, we go way back.
Yeah, and so that certainly adds to it. But the team itself, statistically, over 200 service aces. I think it was 239 or 219. It was this morning. So up, top of the national rankings. That Kasha's got 50 herself. Just about how the service game has kind of put a lot of things into play for you.
Well, that is always one of the first things that we spoke about before that I try to get done early in a program. That's one of the only skills you have complete control over in volleyball. There's nothing random about your serve. You absolutely have control of that thing, and that can be something that you work out, and it can be what you expect every week. And we've gone for our serving. We've stayed aggressive. We are trying to knock teams out of system, trying to get looks that we want to see based on our serving. So we serve like we want. 1, we're going to get some free points. 2, we're going to understand how the ball is coming back, which is going to then help us with the second thing that we're nationally relevant right now, and that's opponent's hitting percentage. So when we get the ball back how we expect, we certainly can control their offense a lot better. And we're going to get more digs. We're going to understand where the ball's going. We're going to be able to control those things as much as you can in a random sport as volleyball is. We're going to be able to do that a lot better. So serving is the linchpin for that. It just really is. And we go for it. I don't think if anyone's seen our team, they understand we go for serving. We don't fool around with that too much.
Yeah, absolutely. Very aggressive with it, and favorably or unfavorably, but it's been a whole lot more favorably here this year.
Sure, and what people don't always understand too, and this is from the highest levels, and for us trying to be a high-level nationally relevant team, there's actually a positive correlation between being the team that misses the most serves and winning the match. That's absolutely true across the board at high-level volleyball. That is true, and it's because when you're playing against good opponents, if you don't go for your serves, they're going to just ram it down your throat, and there's not much you can do about it, no matter how good you are. They're going to get you. It's just the reality of it. And so when we played against, you saw that from some of the northern opponents we played last week, they also were they were hammer and tong at us with their serving. The only team that wasn't was maybe wheeling a little bit, but they're also number 1 or 2 in the nation at blocking. It makes it a little bit better when you can just say, okay, we're going to give you the ball, but here comes a pretty big block at you. So that's why they back up. But even their serving was tougher than most.
Yeah, well, I know you're a baseball fan. A lot of your top home run hitters also lead the league in strikeouts, so that's part of
the deal.
You go for it,
Part of the deal.
Well, I tell you what, it's a big week, and that's exciting as we make this push for the playoffs and going after potentially 20 wins. 14-11 right now. Hopefully next week we'll be able to talk about some more wins on here. Coach, appreciate you joining us here today, and thank you all for joining us out there.